Hey, and welcome to the Drep and Stone podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
Kyle, we find ourselves here on a odd Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday morning.
Not that like today's an odd day, but usually we don't record on Sundays.
No, but it is easy.
Easy like Sunday morning.
There it is.
I don't know who sings that song, but I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Is that Smokey Robinson?
I don't think so.
You don't have to Google it. It's okay. In my mind, it's going to be Smokey Robinson.
We can go with that. I was going to say Otis Redding, but I don't think that's right either.
Okay, now I need to know.
Oh, Jesus.
It's Lionel Ritchie.
It's Lionel Ritchie. How did I not think of that? Even seen that dude in concert. It's embarrassing.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's so good.
Whoops.
All right. Well,
no disrespect.
I don't know. I mean all my disrespect. If I've said
implied and justified.
Correct. Got a question for you.
What's that?
You want to drink something with me on this late Sunday morning?
Yeah, sure.
What I'm going to suggest is that we both go randomly pull whatever we would like to drink together on this Sunday morning.
What an idea.
I'm going to go grab mine. You go grab yours.
Okay. Oh, drink. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, oh, I see.
I got confused. I'm good.
All right, Kyle, what have you brought to drink for our recording on this Sunday?
So I literally just finished my last sip of my coffee. So, I was wanting something which I'll be honest, like a little whiskey and coffee, like they pair so well together anyway.
Definitely.
Like I if I've got nothing to do, if I'm off on a day, like absolutely, like I would highly promote the practice of having a cup of coffee and a little splash of whiskey on the side and just kind of go back and forth between the two. Man, that's a special thing. But
so you don't mix them. You do two separate things.
Yeah, separate glasses and just kind of work back and forth between the two. Because the sharp bitter of the coffee, the sweetness of the whiskey, like it's a great little pairing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wanted to have something that will, I think, really communicate well with the coffee. And so I wanted something a little dark, something that's got a little age on it.
Yeah.
But I also want a scotch. And so I'm going with the Ledaig 18.
Ledaig 18.
Have we featured that? Whiskey of choice. Yeah, we featured it.
Okay, I didn't remember.
When I got back last year, I think that was that we did both of the bottles that I bought last year. We did them
that's
right when we got back.
That's right. Okay, so the Ledaig 18.
Yeah, that's going to be in my glass. What's going to be in yours?
I love that we did not plan this at all.
Uh-oh.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, in like a good way, because I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, okay, so it's Sunday morning. It's an easy Sunday morning. What would I like to imbibe into, like, just continue the good Sunday morning vibes, right?
Yep.
And I chose
tall glass of water.
The Bunnahabhain 18.
Look at us.
I know.
Man, simpatico.
It's so funny.
Same wavelength.
Yeah, and here's my thought process. I honestly, I've had this bottle for a good bit, but it's not something I reach for very often just because it's kind of an expensive bottle.
Right.
But also, I know Bunnahabhain is just easy going.
Yep.
And just wanted to add a little bit of that age on. And I don't even actually have a Bunna 12 anymore. Just haven't bought one in a little bit. So I figured, man, Bunnahabhain on a Sunday, 18 year, let's do it.
All day.
Well, I mean, at least, one pour.
Right.
Because, you can't be too happy on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Well, I mean, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, go for it.
That famous Bunnahabhain whiff of a cork.
Whiff. All right. I'll try to see if mine has any audio to it.
Okay.
Nope.
No, I heard it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it translates.
It must be a Bunnahabhain cork. Watch me pour into the camera. Oh, man, I can already smell it, and I know I made the right choice.
All right, so we both chose Scotch. We both chose an 18-year-old Scotch. You've got Ledaig from, where's Ledaig from? It's not Isla. It's the
Tobermory.
Tobermory. Yeah. Okay, that's right.
The Isle of Mull.
That's right. I knew it was an isle. I just couldn't remember which one it was. So we both have island scotches.
Yep.
I have an Isle of Scotch. You have a Mull Scotch. Not mold, but Mull. What you got on the nose?
I got sherry all day long.
Is that peated at all? I can't remember.
Yeah, it says rich peat and sherry cask finished, but heavy in that sherry department. Absolute sherry bomb. Fresh fruits, berries, caramel. I mean, it's a dessert in a glass. Like, it says rich peat. It's subtle peat. It's like little toasted almonds or something on your dessert.
Pete on the way up. Like he's climbing that social corporate ladder, Pete. He's not Rich Pete yet.
I mean, it says Rich Pete, but it's just not.
Well, that's his rapper name. Like he's aspiring. Yeah. He's aspiring to something. He wants to be Rich Pete, but he's like mid-level Pete right now. Subtle Pete.
Right. What you got?
Christmas pudding, like English Scottish Christmas pudding, dried fruit, like some plums, like dried apricots, and yeah, a lot of sherry for me too. Like especially on the front end of the nose. Like initially, you're just like smacked in the face with a bunch of sherry,
right?
And it's like that like real jammy sherry,
right?
It's like jammy Dodger cookies. With like I don't know what they call them for us here, but it's like you get them around Christmas and it's got like the jam right in the middle, like shortbread cookie with jam in the middle. That's what it really reminds me of.
Yeah.
And like this really, really beautiful toffee note too, which I feel like I get on normal Buna 12, but the 18 is where that really like that heavy roasted toffee note starts to really sing. What's more like, yeah, but it's weirdly like bright too, because like think about an 18-year-old Scotch. Like I would expect some depth to the nose, and like I'm not saying it's not there, but it's just it feels so vibrant and bright to me, which is kind of weird because so many of the Bunnahabhain things connote depth. And maybe it's just like marketing, maybe it's the bottle, maybe it's just like my thought process of Bunnahabhain as a whole, but it just feels depth. And this, not so much.
Right.
Shall we try it?
Okay, dokie.
Enough sniffing time for sipping?
Yep.
Any peat on the palate for you?
Yeah, I mean it's there. It's still it's weird to think of it in terms of like richness. It is a rich peat, but I don't know that it's like you can say that it's the peat that's rich. It's like it's just a rich drink, a rich whiskey that has peat. I don't know. Like it is not like a sharp, like intense peat, or like, we talk about like the different types, like, like we attribute campfire sometimes or ash. Like it's not that. It is kind of more of like a dulled, kind of like almost sweet peat in a weird way. So like I do get the attribute being a bit different, but I don't know if I could go rich.
So what is rich peat then? Like to you, what is rich peat? Because I've got an idea in my mind what rich peat is. Like a bottle that we've had that like, oh, that is rich peat. So what is that for you? Do you have one?
I don't, but like it I'm thinking of it in terms of like cigars, of like, right. You can have a really kind of like sharp, abrasive smoke, but you can also have this kind of like more dull, sweet, billowing smoke that velvety and sweet, and just like the notes of the tobacco can be softer and smoother, and that's all like texture stuff with the smoke. And so like in my head I'm kind of thinking of it in that way, of like just like the how aggressive it is. And so like a rich peat to me is going to be a bit more subtle, but still high in flavor notes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So when I think of like rich peat, I think of like Barbecue, just like something that's like, it's just unctuous. You know what I mean? Like it's got a lot of depth in that way. It's yeah, that's what I think about.
I could go with that.
I don't know, like sometimes Lagavulin I feel like can be a rich sweet. Like just regular Lager 16. Or Rich Pete. I said sweet. I meant Pete.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I'm disappointed that I've already finished my coffee because this would be a great back and forth.
Yeah, and from what I remember of that Ledaig, I agree completely. Like a really nice pairing with, if you had like a strong, kind of dark roast coffee. Oh yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I'm maybe like a third of the way through this bottle. Every time I go back to it, I forget. Oh shit, that's actually really good. Or I guess I forget. Like that's why I don't go back to it that often. Like I'm kind of like nursing it. But it is like it's the depth of it, but it's really desserty sweet. Like it's a great pairing with like just a nice bitter coffee.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Yeah, that was a good find too, and a good like choice on your behalf. I remember when you were thinking about which bottles you were going to bring back. That was like, nope, I want to try something that we've never had before, and that I think that's a good pick as a whole. The Bunna 18, like it's always one of those ones that like I will die on this hill. Bunna 12 over 18 all day, but then I have the 18. It's like I don't think this is a better expression, and I would say like it's just so different in that like the threads are still there. Like what makes Bunnahabhain is still there, but I actually think that it's just better on the 12. It's actually, the age doesn't necessarily do it any favors here, because to me it then becomes way more honey forward, and that's what I get on the palate. It's a lot of honey, and it's a lot of like salty and slightly nutty, and I just gotta believe that that's just the age.
Remind me, did they do anything to the 18? Is it the 12 and they just put 6 more years on it?
I think it's just the 12 and they put 6 more years on it. I don't want to be beholden to that, but I think that's the case.
It's not one of those instances of like, I always think of, dang it, I can see the bottle. Not going to come to me. But like so many different whiskeys where it's like, the 12 year is the 12 and we aged it in X bourbon. And then the 14 is the 14, and it's the 14 because we aged it in sherry. And then the 18 is the 18, and it's the 18 because we aged it in this thing. Like, and there's, for whatever reason, those age statements have a different style to them, or a different either barrel aging or they did something different, and that's why it is that age statement. But I don't think Bunna does that.
I don't think so. I think it literally is, this is Bunnahabhain that is aged another 6 years.
Right.
I think that is what I am led to believe. That is what I've always thought. That's what I'm led to believe.
Right.
And I don't believe, so here in the US anyway, depending on where you get this bottle, like you could be in the $180 range. You could be in the $300 range, just depending on, how someone wants to sell this. And I've seen both, and I've actually seen both at the same store, like not at the same time, but like one time I went in, this was $180, and another time I went in, this was $350.
Right.
I'm like, okay. But I know that you can buy it on their website right now for like $135. So I don't know how this pricing works. Right. I mean, you're going to pay for shipping.
Y'all just making it up.
But it is a fantastic pour for our Sunday recording. I can tell you that, though.
Yeah, oh yeah. Can't go wrong there.
And what I really love, and this is just what I love about Bunnahabhain in general, is the claggy, oily viscosity here. It feels so much, and it's not all of them, but it feels so much like an after dinner scotch.
Right.
Like this is something how I'm going to wind down my day. I'm going to sit by the fire, and like I'm just going to ease out of my day, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's the time period for higher age scotches. Like they are a post dinner nightcap kind of a thing.
But honestly, right now, man, I could pour this over my pancakes and be just fine.
Some boozy pancakes.
I'm gonna go make some real quick.
Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
That's who I'm thinking of. Like the there's in their core range, I think they have 3 different age statements, and each one has like a different cask presence or something like that. Each one's different, and And I mean, I feel like that's a pretty common thing for Scotch for whatever reason. I think it's almost uncommon the other way of just like, yeah, no, this is the same thing. We just aged it longer.
Yeah. Now that we have our fantastic Sunday pours, what would you like to talk about this week?
I've seen 2 different videos recently that got my brain kind of clicking on this idea or this concept, this topic. The first one was about Grey Goose vodka, one of our favorite vodkas that we've featured several times on the podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's the idea that Grey Goose vodka, when it hit the market, it wanted to present itself as this luxury vodka, if there is such a thing. I mean, have we? I guess we did a martini one time that surely would have had. No, I think that was a gin martini.
I think it was gin. Yeah.
Have we never had vodka on the podcast?
I don't think we have.
I mean, why would you? Because like the whole point of vodka is for it to be flavorless, for there to be no flavor. You know, like that's kind of like the quintessential aspect of vodka. Like the better the vodka, it's better because it has no flavor. Anywho, Grey Goose, when it was created, not terribly a long time ago, when they hit the market, they priced themselves higher to be considered a luxury vodka, and they seem to have achieved that goal because, like, I would think, you know, in most instances, if you go to a bar or something like that, like Grey Goose is going to be an upcharge. It's going to be a top shelf, you know, premium liquor. And basically the point of the story was just explaining that, like, that was their goal was to put themselves in a place of luxury brand items, even though like it's still just vodka. It's still just flavorless liquor.
So not to create a better product, but to sell a product at a higher categorical price to create the illusion of luxury.
Yes. And that generating sales and that generating a profile of luxury solely based off of price, not because of the product itself, because the product itself can't really be, I guess, improved upon over what's already available.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, all we can do is like we can put it in a nicer bottle and we can give it a heftier price tag. And does, you know, but is there any relevance to that? Does that add any kind of value to it? Like, I mean, I suppose if it is like a nicer like bottle, like you can argue some kind of a aesthetic appeal that would warrant a higher price. Like, you know, if it's in a crystal decanter, like what is it, the Louis
the 16th or whatever,
yeah, like
14th,
if
whatever,
it's something like that, like, yeah, it's this expensive because that bottle costs a lot of money to make.
But you just said it. You just said the point. And that's what I was thinking of as you're talking about this, is like the thing itself is not better. It's the bottle that's better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you made, and that's my qualm with things that like Macallan does. And, you know, Macallan has these like gorgeous crystal decanters. I don't know if they're Glencairn, and I know we love Glencairn, but these like gorgeous crystal decanters. And so now your scotch is a $20,000 scotch because you've got a $17,000 decanter or a $17,000 bottle and like this like beautiful presentation, and like it's gorgeous, but like, is the whiskey better? Nah, probably not. Right. I mean, it always has like those high ages on it, sure, but like, yeah, that I think it's that like perception of luxury. You know, you think about the difference between like a bourbon and a vodka. Like I'm gonna say there's more work. There's more work that goes into a bourbon because you're aging, you're thinking about like barrels, you're thinking about the costs associated with all that, and like there's just far more variables. But for something like a vodka, you're literally like distilling grain and then throwing it in the bottle.
Right.
A low end whiskey might take, let's say, 2 years to make. Like a decent low end whiskey might take 2 years to make. And an exceptional vodka might take from beginning to end 2 weeks to make.
Name me the quality 2-year whiskey that you're talking about.
It's the you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm sure there's one
That
out
one.
there. I just can't think of it.
No, 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 no.
Mellocorn, maybe?
You know, yeah.
No, they're
But you know what
bonded,
I'm
aren't they?
saying. You know what I'm saying though. Like, okay, so let's go 4 years.
Oh yeah,
Whereas
I'm right behind you. I know exactly what you're saying. Like I
I knew I
completely
felt you back
agree.
there.
And that's kind of the thing too. Like I can almost understand the argument a bit more. Like I think it's pretty well known that like that's a very similar approach that Maker's Mark took when they hit the market. Was
Absolutely.
they priced themselves higher because it's higher. It's we're expensive because this is an expensive whiskey kind of thing. Whatever their slogan was. It's something like we're expensive because we are, or something like that. Like
Right.
it was something very condescending almost. But at least within a realm of bourbon, like there are definitive characteristics that you can decide, is this better or not? Like it's a
Right.
wheated bourbon, so that's going to have a different profile than just a regular bourbon. Like so you're going to be able to make that decision as the consumer of like, do I think this is worth it more? Whereas like within vodka, like the whole point of it is to be flavorless and like unnoticeable. So even in that instance, it seems kind of crazy that you could get away with, yeah, no, we're a luxury thing because we say we are.
I just watched Ghostbusters, or I fell asleep to Ghostbusters. I took a nap and was watching Ghostbusters.
OG?
Yeah. And I love that movie. And something got me, like, I looked up Dan Aykroyd. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Dan Aykroyd owns Crystal Head Vodka, or has some sort of stake in Crystal Head. And I was like, that's bizarre. And like, I've seen that vodka everywhere. You know, it's the one that's like, or Crystal Skull. I think I said Crystal Head. Crystal Skull, I think. I can't remember the name of it. But you've seen that vodka. It's literally vodka in a skull bottle. And I was like, why did he associate with that? And like, yeah, you got the macabre. Like he's famously like kind of, you know, that kind of thing of like, he likes the macabre, he obviously Ghostbusters and all those kinds of things. But like, is that vodka a quote unquote good vodka? I'm not a judge of that because I don't care for vodka. But like, what makes that, or in our case, what makes Grey Goose a higher quality product? And I literally think it's just what you said. It's expensive because it is.
Right.
You know, like I think you can make a statement or an argument for like, why is my Ferrari a more expensive car versus my, you know, Ford Pinto?
Sure.
I think there's some argument there, right? Like,
yeah, there's a level of engineering and craftsmanship and all that stuff. Like, you know, whether or not you have the value in that, at least you can point to those defining characteristics of this is why this is better. But
I think in some ways it's also exclusivity, you know, in terms of that argument of there were 15,000 of this car made, but there was 180,000 of this car made.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus something like the Grey Goose aspect of like, it's freaking everywhere.
Yeah, there's nothing unique about this.
Exactly. And I think that's what's most interesting to me about what you've brought up here is that it's not exclusive. No one would, at least I don't think anymore, anyone would be like, oh, what vodka are you drinking?
Sure.
You know, there's like some, at least in the whiskey community, there's some tout to like, I'm drinking this whiskey. Oh, wow. But like, no one's really going, you're drinking Grey Goose? Psh, you a fancy boy. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, and I guess you could, like, I would initially say, well, you know, you can order a scotch or a bourbon and you can get it neat or on ice and you're drinking it because you enjoy the flavors of the thing that they have. But like, you know, aside from, I don't know, I guess a very, you know, bland martini, you're not really doing that with vodka. Like it's almost like the quintessential mixer.
Right. Because the goal, as you said, is to be flavorless.
Right. So it's not like you're ever going to pour, like, you know, purchase a neat pour of Grey Goose just because like I really like that non-flavor. So again, it's just it surprises me. Which, I mean, granted, I don't know. I mean, are there? Well, I mean, what's a bottle of Grey Goose? Maybe like $40 as compared to like if you were to just buy Pinnacle vodka or whatever. Like
Tito's.
yeah, like yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like Tito's is probably like, $20. So it's not really that outrageous a thing, but I just think it's really interesting how, humanity can convince itself that like that's a better thing because it's more expensive. And obviously like, they know that. And so that's the angle that they're playing with it. But I mean, I can certainly attest that I have bought bottles before solely on the hype of the price.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I assumed that price brought with it an understanding that this is a better product. When in reality, when I got the thing and opened it up, it was like, oh, yeah, no, this isn't that much better. And that will always be my opinion at this point in time towards Van Winkle's.
Correct.
There's no reason that it needs to be priced like that. And there's no way it could live up to that price tag.
Well, and I think that that's the argument ultimately for blind tastings and for tastings in which you, as much as you can, remove the price. Like in a perfect world, if you really were to decide, okay, yes, I love this vodka over this vodka, you would go to someone's house who like, don't tell me the price of any of this. You have nothing, right? And here are 4 different vodkas, and I try all these 4, and like that's the one that I like the most. I can't explain why I like it the most, just that's the one I like the most. Oh, well, it's this. And if it happens to be Grey Goose, okay, cool. But if it also happens to be Pinnacle, well, or Wheatley, there you go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that like the same for whiskey. I would say the same for anything. If you can, and I recognize that's hard to do, but if you can try that thing with a price tag removed, and then you like, wow, actually this is something great, then you have a good barometer, a good measurement of this is something that, yes, I should be willing to pay X amount more for.
Right.
Another video that we kind of talked earlier about is that kind of old thing about lobster. And this is something that I don't know if it's apocryphal at this point or if it's legit. And I think there's a lot of legitimacy to it, that like lobster was something that used to not be a luxury product. Like it was served in prisons, it was served in like to sailors, it was served to like the lower members of society, because like, first of all, this crap is everywhere.
Yeah, it was so abundant.
Yeah, and it's not, for whatever reason, it just wasn't seen as a good product.
Right.
Same too with, I think, oysters as well. Like, you go back to the 1800s and before in like New York, and like oysters were something that were cheap, they were fast, and like if you wanted oysters, you could get them, but they were seen as just like a kind of a throwaway food almost. Right. Whereas now, oysters are kind of a big to-do. Like if you want good oysters, you're going to pay for them.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting your 7-Eleven oysters. I know you love 7-Eleven oysters. I understand the place for them.
Again, if I've got 3 days off, like, yeah, I don't mind a 7-Eleven oyster.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're going to have to recover. You're going to have to recover from it, but
Right. But it's that thing of like, so then when did lobster become a luxury good?
Yeah, I watched like somebody had a take on this, and like their stance was that nobody really loves lobster. Like we've convinced ourselves that again it's a luxury item, and so we take pride in being able to order it and get it. But like when it's prepared and served, it's nobody eats it like plain. Like everybody's dunking that stuff in butter, and their argument was like, what else tastes great when it's drowned in butter? Everything. It's like, if this was really that great of a thing, if it was really that delicious of an entree, it wouldn't be served with anything. It's just the thing. Like, like, I mean, yeah, like I love a steak with a good chimichurri on it, but like the best steak is just maybe a bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Like you let the flavor of the thing shine. You don't ever want to overtake it. And like, that's certainly what you're doing with lobster.
Definitely. And it kind of goes to that same thing of like, well, I really like this thing, but I only like it fried. Well, then you don't like that. Like I think of here in our parts, gator, You know, people are like, man, I do like some gator, but no one's eating like an alligator steak. You know,
Right.
most, you know, you're getting like gator bites, which is like gator tail that's been like deep fried. And of course you like alligator that's deep fried because it's freaking deep fried.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not getting like fillet of alligator tail and like eating that.
Right.
You're getting a deep fried
Nice
alligator
2-inch
bite.
cut of gator tail.
Right. Or like, you know,
Medium rare.
I like calamari, but most calamari I have is all fried. So like, do I like calamari or do I just like fried
Rubber
I don't even know,
bands.
like what's it? Yeah, there you go. Fried rubber bands, you know? And I like that sauce that's on it.
That's a
So,
good fit.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think it works in that sense too of like, do you actually like the thing or do you like liking the thing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the times that I've had lobster, that has always kind of been my take on it. It's like, this is fine. It almost never lives up to the price tag, though.
I am never going to order it.
Yeah.
I don't dislike lobster.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like
I am-
lobster fine.
But I'm never going to be like, you know what? I would love to add a lobster tail to this. And it's $29.99. Yeah, that's a great price. Let's add that.
Yeah, no, it's just a price flex.
It 100%
I mean,
is.
I think crab is far superior.
But even then, that's a price. Oh, I agree. I think crab has a lot more flavor too. But that's also a price flex too. You want a half pound of snow crab legs?
Yeah.
You know, that's X amount of dollars. Okay, but like now I've got to like freaking pick through these stupid little snow crab legs and like, you know, it's got.
Gosh, you
like,
should be paying me. I'm doing a lot of the work here.
Everyone's done with their meal, and here I am picking through snow crab legs.
Westlake!
I didn't hear him.
Really?
Yeah.
Like losing his mind in there.
Yeah, no, I couldn't hear him. Yeah, and I think it's that perception of thing, you know, of the good itself. Is it good? Or have we just marketed it well? Or have we put it in a pretty bottle? Have we made it seem, have we suggested the thing is good?
I've been told this is high class, high society. So I want to, you know, present that also.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a young man's game. We're no longer young men. So we speak through the veil.
No, I agree. And I think it's not just, it's experiential. You know, you have to experience this. And again, are you going to convince yourself that yes? Or are you going to be like, no, like I can wade through the BS. I see what this is. I'm okay.
What's your biggest trap? Let's go whiskeys in this game.
Ooh.
You paid a higher than premium price for a bottle that just did not live up to expectation.
Listen, I make all of my decisions after very careful research.
Sure. Sure. There was research done. It's just the outcome of the research didn't.
I'm looking at the shelf and I'm trying to think of like what is that? Okay, I can give you one, and it's not a high cost bottle necessarily. The Basil Hayden Caribbean Reserve Rye.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Like it's not
just about any of those Basil Hayden
legitimately
offshoots,
and they're not terribly expensive. I recognize that some of them are, but they're not generally terribly expensive. But like I sought after it because like I thought, wow, this is the product I want.
Like,
and then
Basil Hayden itself is that.
They're exact 100%.
Like just a bottle of Basil Hayden is like $40 for an 80 proof bourbon.
Yeah.
That it's still just Jim Beam. Like, and you can get Jim Beam right beside it for like $15.
I got another one. I've not had a bottle of this, but the Heaven Hill Grain to Glass.
Oh yeah,
those couple that I've tried.
Yeah,
you know those are upwards of $100 a bottle.
Yeah,
and I've had pours of them and just went, why?
Yeah,
you?
I go to the was it Magnus?
The cigar blend one?
Not the cigar blend. I mean, granted, that one is overpriced, but at least it was good. Like just the OG.
Oh yeah.
Just now the regular one. And you know, I think I got it for maybe 110.
That's right.
I would point to the Peerless when they first came out.
Definitely.
They were overpriced. You know, they were around that $100 mark. And again, I was just like, dang, if it's, you know, granted, everything that pops into my mind is stuff that was at the beginning of our journey. And so obviously a lot of these kind of helped, you know, shape my understanding. But I remember buying a bottle of Peerless for like maybe like just shy of $90 and thinking that like, yeah, no, it's priced this way because it's going to be exceptional. And it was fine.
All of the bottles of Blanton's and all that crap at the very beginning of his journey.
Yep.
It's that.
Yeah.
It is that in a nutshell.
Yeah. Like just so many of those things like that you think that the price warrants something that's going to be noticeably, and you would hope not just noticeably, but like is far superior.
Caribou Crossing.
For yeah, that's certainly one that can be for sure. I think I got lucky and found one that was like okay priced. But yeah, I mean, I can probably like think of half a dozen bottles where I thought like, yep, that's going to do it. That's going to be worth the price. And then you actually get the thing and it's like, oh yeah, no, like this is not the thing. Like this is no better than that $45 bottle of rare breed.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it takes you time to learn that lesson.
It does. And I think that is ultimately the point, that, you know, you have to experience it.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's not that. Like, or you're not going to believe reviews, or you are going to get sucked up in the hype. And until you've had the experience yourself, you're just not going to be convinced otherwise.
I think you've got to waste some money. I think you've got to waste some time, and I think you've got to experience it for yourself. Exactly.
Yep.
On that note, you got anything else?
Not for today's conversation. No.
No, me neither. I got just a little sip left. Now I do not.
Sip removed.
Yeah, good stuff. So we'd love to know, what do you think about either the Bunnahabhain 18 or the Ledaig 18?
Yeah, and what is your bottle that taught you the lesson that price does not necessarily mean quality, superior quality?
Ooh.
What was it for you?
Yeah. Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone, D-R-E-P and Stone. Find us on all those social media platforms, and you'll have a good time if you do.
Yeah, come hang out with us. We post things just about every day, and if you say something to us, you know, we'll respond back to you.
Yeah, we will. We're cordial in that way.
We are indeed. We're consummate professionals.
Indeed.
And we'd also love it if you support the podcast. You can do so financially through our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/drepandstone. You can support Drep and Stone by rating us wherever it is you get great podcasts like this one. And finally, Kyle.
Yeah?
You can support Drep and Stone by telling someone about the podcast.
Indeed you can.
Most cost-effective way, in my opinion.
Yeah, can't argue that. We are a luxury brand. If we are anything, we are a high society luxury brand podcast that you want to have associated with your profile. If people see that like you follow Drep and Stone, man, the status upgrade that you're going to receive almost immediately.
Correct. Exactly. It's the boost that you've been wanting.
Yeah. The gift that keeps on giving the whole year round.
Clark.
The Jelly of the Month Club. That is what we are. The Jelly of the Week Club.
On that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.